So same just up in here. That's good. Now, just over here, I think it's a bit wiggly, going into about there. Blend that so it's nice and smooth between the lights and the dark. So you got one side dark, like I say, and the rest light. I'm just going to do a bit more on that dark side. I want to put like a blue shadow into this back area. Like a blue shadow. With being on the shadowed side, usually get a tinge of blue going into that, you see. So I'll put the darks in first. That's working out well, that looks nice. Same on this side. Come down one side, one edge, and then blend it in between the two colours. Something like that. See that zinging off of there now, that light, that's working. Happy. Same on this side, a bit dark. Just blend, leave these little areas because there's like little knots in the tree and stuff. Right now, a little bit more dark, just on this side of this one. Just want to go to that. Quite a big branch, and then what I'll do is I'll actually paint some little branches and stuff now. Highlighted that a bit now. Put a few more green leaves and stuff as well, you know, in front of these. That's fine. So I'm going to go on to this one and then we can go back to doing the small stuff afterwards. I just want to get the majority of it done. So I'm going to do the same thing with the dark on one side and a nice light colour on the other. Only difference on this one, I'm going to just tap. So I'm just going to tap along the edge of it like so, all the way up. Just like that. If you go over too much, you can just wipe it off like so, no problem, just wipes off and you can just go back in again. A bit more like highlight colour. All the way up to there and then down to about there. Just doing one side at the moment just by tapping with the light colour. It is dark on the other side, but I'll probably just go straight to a straight dark brush to do the opposite side, to do the shadow side. I want to get some of that in there first. There. Now I can just mix a bit of a brighter colour up actually, a bit brighter, and just tap that edge again so that we get a bit of a bright tone. That's it. That's better. Reload. And then I'm just going to tap Nice and gently. Just up in the highlight again. Just want to brighten that edge up. Tend to grow on you, do these trees. Get bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't mind because they're in the foreground. I want them to have a decent bit of size to them. Just going above the top edge. A little bit in there, but it's going to be predominantly dark in there. Happy? Now again I'll clean off the brush. I love that tree, it's quite twisty. I'm happy. Right. Now just with the dark colour now. The dark brown. I'm going to tap on the opposite side. Just like so. Quite a big trunk on it, this. And then tap gently into the light tone. So it's dark to light. A bit more dark on that. Just like that, you see, so you've got definition between your shadow and your dark edge. It's thinner as we're going up. Just tap it into that highlight colour a bit. It makes it look like a little pine tree. Gives little pine effects. You can use a palette knife too, but I do like to do this, and when it's dried you can go over it again and just put little ribs in here and there where there's some deeper darker areas, you know, where the branches come off or something like that. Just do one there, and I'll do one there where it's a bit lighter as well. See that? Just a few little indications of sticks and twigs that have fallen off of there. They're always shedding sticks and twigs, so you end up with little indents in the branches, in the trunks of the trees. Same up there. Softly. Really easy to do. Just worth taking the time. I really took my time over this painting because I just did not think it didn't deserve to be rushed, and I think it's paid dividend. Sometimes I do little long-term projects and I should really upload them once I've finished the paintings, but I just get a bit eager to show people what I'm doing, so sorry about that. But hopefully you can see now where I was going to be going with it. A few highlight colours just up into there now. Not much though, just enough. It's nice to, I'll just do it now. Have a little roux coming down there from that. With sunlight zinging off it a tiny bit. Tap into that so that it blends to the dark. It's easy for one to overtake the other with acrylics, so just keep going backwards and forwards between the dark and the light. You find a good balance then eventually for your highlights. See, it's going to be quite dark on that side, down in there, so I need to use quite a bit of that dark colour to indicate that. There. Now I'm going to get some brown, straight brown, because just on here, this pathway, I'm wanting it to zing across this way slightly, just in here, leaving just a bush coming out, and then I'll put some light colour into that and allow it to mix a bit with it. There. Just tap. Pan brushes are so good. They're used for oils, they're used for acrylics, I even use them for watercolours. Such a multi-purpose type of brush. It's this. It's brilliant what you can use them for. Right. So it's going to come around this way. So there's going to be some dark, like bushes and stuff coming up at this side. You can actually flip a few stuff up like so. If I want them to stand out in front, I can leave a bit of that showing through. A couple of darker bushes just in there, in this foreground spot. Always going to see them. And then the pathway winds its way around that way. And I'll put another pool of light, a couple of little bits here and there of this dappled light again. Something like that. Maybe just that little indication here and there. Some rocks in the shadows maybe. Could use a small brush, and the way that we did this by loading light on one side and dark on the other, you can do some nice rocks like by doing that same thing. Just a few little highlights on it then. They're going to stand out in here anyway. Any little boulders and rocks that I put in, because it's so light, they're going to stand out lovely, you see. And then a bit darker when you're in these shadowed areas, obviously. And maybe I can come back afterwards and just put a few little glimmers of light on top of them where it's coming through. If they're in shadows like that one is, I won't bother. Only if they're touching, say, if I put one in there, top of it's going to have some sunlight on it. But you know, when you're in woods, you're always having to dodge all these little boulders and stuff on pathways. Tons of them. You get them everywhere. So it's nice, especially at the edges of the paths. You tend to see them more, your boulders and stuff, but you do get them in the middle too. Some little ones. Maybe a couple. One there, a couple coming out under trees. Even some little rocks. And then with that, clean that brush off.